Hey, Mike Snyder here, and I want to talk to you just for a couple minutes to restaurant owners. So I'm going to be talking about the technology in this little box here called long-range Bluetooth advertising. It's relevant across just about any industry on the planet, but I want to talk to restaurant owners for a couple minutes. Restaurant owners, imagine this. Imagine if you had the ability to send out an email and drive people back into your business, right? How simple would that be, right? Some of you are maybe sending out mailers or flyers or doing advertisements in magazines, which not many people are looking at anymore. What if you had 100 valid email addresses from people who had eaten in your restaurant in the last 12 months, and you could say, hey, come join us on a Tuesday night, right? This next week, Tuesday, we're gonna do buy one entree, get one 50% off after 4 p.m., something like that. And you had the ability to actually turn on revenue by sending an outbound email message, all right? Wouldn't that be slick? Well, that's exactly what our company helps people do, and I want to tell you a couple stories around it, okay? What if you had an email, so back to my example, what if you had an email of 100, right? What if you had an email list of 1,000? What if you had an email list of 5,000 people in your community, right? Again, within 5 to 10 miles of your restaurant, which is that's where most of your business comes from. What if you had an audience of 5,000 email addresses that you could send out and offer a coupon, come join us on Friday night, here's what we're doing, that kind of thing? You think you could turn on revenue? Of course you could. And I know, right, the answer to that because we've helped thousands of restaurants do it. I want to tell you a story because some of you are thinking 5,000 email addresses, is that even possible? Absolutely. We've got a restaurant out on the East Coast that we've been working with since January. I'm recording this video second week in November. So they haven't even been working with the tools that we gave them for 12 full months, all right? They have captured over 50,000 email addresses. Chew on that for a minute, over 50,000, right? Needless to say, the store is blown up. They're a franchise and they are now one of the top 3 franchises in the entire country, right? They're busy 7 days a week, open to close. And the reason for that is because what they did is they took their slow times, right? They had a couple days where lunch wasn't as busy they'd like. They had a couple evenings that weren't quite as busy. They just crafted an offer. They said, hey, come join us for lunch. Here's the special offer. Now people come in for lunch. They're even doing really cool things with it. Watch, check this out. A couple months ago, they wanted to do a fundraiser for a local war veteran who had gone off. I can't remember which branch of the armed services, but he came back and was now transitioning back into civilian life, and they wanted to buy him a new truck. Okay, and so they held this big fundraiser on a Friday night. They sent out a couple emails that said, come join us for this great cause. We're going to raise a bunch of money, and kids are going to eat free from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Well, they had a line. I think the wait was never less than 2 hours to get inside. They had a line around the building, packed the place out, raised a ton of money, okay? Why are they able to do that? Because they have audience, all right? Any restaurant can do it, all right? And we help you get it set up. There are 2 things that we do, and all you really need to know is we handle all the technology. You just get the benefit from it, right? You don't have time to learn about long-range Bluetooth advertising, how to set it up, how to build a website, any of that kind of stuff. We do all of that for you. But let me give you a quick overview, and then I'll give you my email here in a couple minutes if you have any further questions. But first thing we do is we get you set up. It's very easy to set up, and it's very affordable, but with one or multiple of these devices. And what these little things have the ability to do is to get a custom message to cell phones within 1,000 feet, okay? So imagine if you put one of these in the front of your store. Maybe you have a shared parking lot, maybe you're part of a strip mall, something like that. How many cell phones could you get this within 1,000 feet of? And that's about 3 football fields, okay? So imagine that this little thing sits in the middle, and then there's a big circle around it that goes out in every direction the length of 3 football fields, okay? That's what this little thing can do. All right, so we get restaurants set up with these little devices, and they usually park one in the front of their store, or this thing's obviously portable. So you probably live in the community where your restaurant is. You can just simply bring this with you as you go to the local grocery store, the mall, whatever the case, and this thing will constantly send out a message driving people back to your restaurant, okay? Second thing we do is we get you set up with a little QR code. If you're not familiar, that's basically the new barcode, okay? A lot of times they're square, they're black and white, they kind of look like a maze. And what those things can do is they have scanners on smartphones. You can simply scan the QR code and it'll take you to a custom web page, all right? Now, on that web page, there will be an offer for your restaurant that will get somebody to input their first name and email address. So, for example, this company that I'm talking about, or this restaurant out on the East Coast, they give away 10 free meals to their restaurant for putting in your first name and your email address. And that's how they have captured over 50,000 email addresses in less than 12 months, okay? So they do a rolling drawing once per quarter, all right? So they put these little flyers that we gave them, they simply printed them out, they put them on all their tabletops, they put one by the register at point of sale, all right? And it has this little QR code that somebody can simply scan, put in their first name and email address, get entered into the quarterly drawing for 10 free meals, all right? And they've captured over 50,000 email addresses, all right? So again, I said it before, here's what you need to know. We set all of this up for you. We can have most restaurants up and running within 3 to 7 business days. We do a training with you on how to use it. We get, your logo, what do you want your offer to be, and then our team, who has set these up for thousands of companies, we help you walk through this. We give you some ideas. What do you want it to look like? We get this whole thing set up. Here's what's really cool is, as the restaurant owner, every time somebody gives their info, our technology will shoot you a text message that said there's another one coming through. And so, we just have testimonial after testimonial, but restaurant owners love this because now every time their phone beeps or vibrates or whatever the case, they're checking and looking for that text message, and they're seeing their audience grow, okay? And then it's just a matter of, let's send out an email to drive business in. We even help you with that, okay? Hold your hand every step of the way. We get it. You don't have time to learn the technology, figure out how to build web pages, implement it, that kind of thing. We do all that for you. You just get to go drive it. All right. So you probably have a few questions. Thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap this thing up. You can reach me again. My name is Mike Snyder, and you can reach me at bluetoothdvertisingnow@gmail.com. Again, bluetoothdvertisingnow@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.